After the mutant, Kafka reveals that Krakoa will leave Earth and return to the White Hot Room, Exodus violently objects and garners the attention of the X-Men past and present. It's also at this time that Apocalypse appears and appeals to Kafka. After learning what had transpired, Apocalypse confronted Exodus and the two engaged in combat. The altercation is brief, as Apocalypse violently imposes his will on Exodus, pummeling him to a bloody pulp. After which, Kafka escorts Apocalypse and a few choice mutants throughout New Krakoa, disclosing its trials, tribulations, and success along the way. The tour reaches a pivotal moment when the group arrives at what is described as a museum of wooden carved sculptures representing the good and bad of Krakoa's past. This prompts Apocalypse to inquire about the relevancy of his legacy in New Krakoa. Although Kafka extends his gratitude and gives Apocalypse his flowers, the first mutant is displeased and sees the opportunity to educate the new speaker of Krakoa on the hard lessons of Apocalypse. As Gian, Cyclops, and Emma Frost tend to Kafka, all nearby mutants assume attack formation and engage Apocalypse. Their efforts are in vain, though, as the first mutant, one by one, makes light work of their attempts to defeat him. Richter, one of Apocalypse's pupils, attempts to thwart his mentor's onslaught and literally knocks some sense into him with rock-formed fists. Apocalypse, unfazed, reminds Richter of why he is who he is. After easily dismantling previous opposition, Apocalypse now faces a small army of mutants. They attack in small pockets to no avail, and even Sunfire, another of Apocalypse's favorite heralds, expresses his opposition. Colossus steps up to the plate and engages in a back-and-forth battle with Apocalypse, but is eventually overwhelmed. After Apocalypse's emphatic invitation is rejected, Wolverine and Deadpool enter the fray and manage to finally draw blood from the first mutant. Their efforts seem impactful, but are more of a nuisance. It takes the teleporting Blue Devil, Nightcrawler, to bring the battle to a much-needed intermission. This gives Emma Frost and Jean Grey the opportunity to use words instead of fists to subdue Apocalypse. Jean would guide Apocalypse to use telepathy to see how much the new Krakoa had prospered. Apocalypse saw millions of mutant minds and a Krakoa that didn't need him or his ideologies. Apocalypse ceased fighting and returned to Arakko, where he revealed to Orc that he may need to select an heir to carry out his will on Earth, and with that, the end of the first age of Krakoa.